What's going on? Welcome to Asian Cosell. So we have one by Destro Reborn. Yep, and he does this video. And yep, and here is Vivica A. Fox. Wow, and she's 60, and now she had a BBL. Wow, what? Geez, we're gonna see what's gonna happen here. So let's get into it.
Here it is. I'm 40 and I'm single. How are y'all doing this?
So I haven't ever done this before, but I am struggling. It has been 5 years since I've been divorced, and I just feel like I'm not connecting with anybody. I can't get a good date to last to save my life. What does it take to find a good guy? Like, I don't understand why it's so hard in your 40s to just find a good person, a decent person that you can connect with and build a life with.
I'll tell you why my skin's so thick, especially in this dating atmosphere. I have walked into a place and I was like, oh, hi, meeting him from online. He looks me in my face and was like, nah, I'm cool on that, and walks right past me.
Damn. I'm sorry.
Listen, whoever that brother is, I must say that was a glorious dismount. He called the catfish audible like Tom Brady on the line of scrimmage. These post-war women will continue to complain until no one is listening. The dating apps removed this sense of urgency that nature gave women. Every year, they looked up at the shot clock and laughed. But now, reality's starting to set in that, hey, I do need a man. The hardest day is when women realize that men have stopped helping them because they no longer want sex from them. Can you imagine the impact that such an epiphany can have? This is when that sense of urgency resumes. But the only problem is that they're 20 pounds heavier and 2 fatherless kids.
I don't need no man.
One of my friends is also a single mother. And last Friday she came over and we were like doing laundry and folding laundry and just chatting and catching up. And we started talking about how there are certain things in our houses that are like falling apart. Like, she was telling me issues that she's having at her house. And then we were doing like a facial at my house, and like my sink is like filling up because it doesn't drain properly. And I was like, I think we need boyfriends. And we have to stop folding laundry on Friday nights. Like, we need to be going out. I was like, next time we get together, we're getting dressed up, we're getting out of this house.
I think the best example of that call to urgency happened to Vivica Fox. Her story will go down in history. Because listen, we're not talking about a regular woman. If you start calling out names like Holly Berry or, I don't know, Nia Long, it becomes one of those who's the best MC, Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas arguments. The better sisterhood will come to her aid. But according to them, if she was a man, she would be considered a predator. But we'll get into that in a second. After hitting the wall like Miley Cyrus swinging on that wrecking ball, she goes and gets herself the coveted BBL.
I remember Vivica A. Fox when I first saw her on the show Out All Night. It was an NBC show with Dwayne Martin. And of course, Dwayne Martin was just like, I think his character name is Vidal, where he's like, bang, boom, what's up, you know? And yeah, I remember that's when, yeah, Vivica A. Fox, she was a beauty, man. She was like, yeah. And I was like, damn, I wouldn't mind going after that. But after all these years, man, still doesn't have a man. Now, of course, in her DMs, not a problem because you see what she's at. But yeah, I remember that show, Out All Night, with Patti LaBelle, Morris Chestnut, who was in Boys in the Hood. Ricky! Oh, so yeah.
In hopes of revitalizing those old worn-out cakes and finding herself another man 20 to 30 years younger than her. What a pitiful fall from grace.
Listen and we don't judge.
There we go.
That's right. We listen and we don't judge.
We don't judge.
That's the problem. These 60-year-old is out here still trying to compete.
Yes. Because you don't want to age out the game.
Go to bed.
No, they don't want to age out the game.
You've aged out the game.
Not as long as Dr. such and such is still in business.
You've aged out the game. You've aged out, yo. Go to bed. You don't have to compete at 60 years old. You've been FICO and nuts.
Bro, it's a whole crop of 20-plus-year-olds that
it's not
heard about you, looking
at 60
at you,
years
had
old,
pictures
you
of you.
gonna go compete with the 25-year-old girl?
Exactly. And yes, Joe Buttons is talking about Vivica Fox. The first thing these old, strong, independent women do is go work on their body. Why don't they ever work on their personality? Vivica Fox never had trouble getting a man. The issue was she couldn't keep them. Think about it. Vivica Fox is famous because of her well-known resting bitch face. I mean, come on, she literally does it in every movie. My point is that she's the same mean chick with a bigger booty and more stretch marks. After these men have had their fun with her and got a few pictures with her on the red carpet and TMZ, they all discard her.
I don't think the 6-year-old is competing with a 25-year-old girl.
Come on, really?
I don't think that in her mind she's competing with a 25-year-old girl.
Mel is purposely trying to trigger me this episode.
Now here, Melissa Ford is going to try to protect Vivica by focusing on a frivolous point, instead of focusing on Joe's bigger point, which is that older women are trying to compete with younger women. She's going to focus her straw woman's argument on the exact age Joe picked, which is 25. Not 26, 27, 28, 35, but 25. Melissa Ford, who was basically Vivica Fox Part 2, cannot dispute or refute Joe's point, so she will resort to misdirection.
Why do you think that she's why do you choose that age? Why do you think that a 60-year-old hones in on 25-year-olds and saying, I'm in direct competition with you? Why do you think that?
Vivica Fox, for the last 3 decades, have been trying to lock in on way younger men. Yes, we all know about 50 Cent, who was like a decade younger than her when he smashed her for fun. But do you remember when she was dating Robert Richard, who was like 20 years younger than her? Or when she was dating, I think she was actually engaged to the club promoter, Omar Slim White. Now, don't quote me on that. But she has a track record of lusting younger men. And hey, there's no issue with that. But the sisterhood usually calls that behavior predatory when a man is the elder. But you see how that works.
That is because that's fear.
Yes, this is Angry Black Woman 101. When your argument fails, find a way to get offended and insult your opposition. Of course, you get bonus points if you call them weird, creepy, or sassy. Well played, Melissa.
Yep, and that's the same thing. A lot of these women, not all of them, but they use that shaming tactic, shame, insult, guilt, and then if it comes to that point, need to be right. So, yep. So she's gonna play that game, and if it's the other way around, a 60-year-old man and a 25-year-old chick, that is oppressive. That is bad. That's a bad thing. And it's like, yo.
Because the 60-year-olds are not the demo that made BBLs famous and popular.
Ding, 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 ding. Exactly. In Vivica Fox's prime years, only a select group of men appreciated a small waist and an oversized fatty. They mostly came from Africa, the Caribbean, and probably down south. I know somebody in the comment section is about to go Twitter fingers on me right now. No, but for real, go look at the old Rump Shaker video and point out one BBL. Guess what? The irony of this conversation is most would agree that it was Melissa Ford and her surgically enhanced fixed-in squad of the 2000s that actually brought that look to the mass market. Yes, they didn't have BBLs yet, but they did wonders with syringes and silicone. In some cases, tire flat fix. My point is that BBLs is meant for a younger generation, not for 60-year-old wealthy men. So one can reasonably assume that her target base are younger men. But Melissa Ford is not ready to have that conversation because such talk would seal her fate.
2, because the 60-year-olds are going after the same men that 25-year-olds are going after.
Unsuccessfully, I might add, because most men in their 60s that have money and options are not picking a woman of the same age, even for recreational purposes. Not ever.
And Vivica A. Fox, she had all those men, but never could retain them. And now, now she's doing these BBLs, and look at me. And 60-year-olds still trying to compete. And then you see here, this is what a lot of the men are doing. being passport bros. They're like, yep, I'm getting out of here.
Never in history did a 60-year-old man fly to Thailand to sleep with a 60-year-old woman. That's blasphemous.
Yeah.
That puts you in direct competition with 25-year-olds.
I think that that's an assumption on your part.
Wait, which part?
That they're going for the same men that 25-year-olds are going for. I think that's an
Mel,
assumption.
we have proof
We
that they're
see
going
it.
after the same men. That's not me assuming.
Okay.
We have proof of that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Bill Belichick got a 20-something.
They all are going after the 25-year-old.
that's gross, by the way.
But it's happening.
But
It's funny that it's not gross when Vivica Fox was sleeping with men 20 years younger than her.
hold on. So,
How old is Madonna's boyfriend?
like,
Shares.
Cher's boyfriend's like 36.
Madonna's boyfriend is younger than that.
Yeah, it's like
there's-
28 or
there's
something like
plenty
that.
of points that say they're in competition with the 25-year-old female.
But that's not to say that the average.
But once again, these shaming tactics are ineffective nowadays. You can't shame us into leaving young, sweet, and legal tenderloin for old construction paper crotch. It's just not going to happen. And Melissa Ford, one of the top vixens, is next on the chopping block. But I ask you a bigger question. If top-tier women like Melissa Ford and Vivica Fox failed at beating the unforgivable wall of no return, what will be the result for these average women?
He ain't lying.
But wait a minute. You didn't smash the bell and press the like button. Blasphemous. And although you will never be worthy of a monarch such as myself, Lord Destro would suggest that you poor fools at least give oligarchy a try. So
All right, so that's a video for Lord Destro. But yeah, you know, again, these top tier women, you know, dated some, you know, some popular guys, you know, with 50 Cent, with Vivica A. Fox. And yeah, she just can't, you know, hold on to him, because I think what happens with these younger men, they're like, nah, this is too much. I ain't gonna deal with this crap anymore. And yeah. And then of course Melissa Ford going there going, that's disgusting. And what, Vivica A. Fox is not disgusting, huh? But that's just the way our society is in America. Older women goes for younger men. That's story. But if it's an older man going out with a nice little young 25-year-old, that is oppressive and disgusting. And oh, that is bad. And I'm just like, yo. And you know, a lot of guys are just like, nah, not working no more. The shame tactic, the sign language does not work anymore. The shame, insult, guilt, need to write, shout out Kevin Samuels, doesn't work. And we're like, okay, bye. And that's that. All right. So nice video by Lord Destro. And yeah, and if any of you enjoyed any of this content, please give me the HKO special, help the king out, hit the like, subscribe, and comment. And wherever you are, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video.